All right, in this one, I'm going to do something that I don't often do. I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you are unaware of this, what this chart is showing is what percent of the total crypto market cap does Bitcoin make up. So if you took every single cryptocurrency, you took their market caps, you added them together, how much of that total crypto market cap is Bitcoin? And currently, the Bitcoin dominance chart is at 61%. So that means that Bitcoin makes up 61% of the total crypto market. Another way to think about it is that Bitcoin's market cap is worth more than every single altcoin combined because it is above 50%. And Bitcoin dominance moving up can mean two things. It can mean that Bitcoin is gaining market cap faster than altcoins, it is pumping and altcoins are lagging behind, or it can mean that altcoins are dumping faster than Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin can be moving down, but the Bitcoin dominance can still be moving up if alts are falling off a cliff and losing market cap faster than Bitcoin. And that means that these moves to the downside can mean two things as well, although they typically mean one thing. It's not so often that Bitcoin is dumping faster than altcoins. These moves to the downside usually mean that Bitcoin is either starting to slow down or is beginning to range, while altcoins go bananas. And since we are in the bullish environment that we're in, Bitcoin is above all-time high. It has moved above its all-time high significantly. I want to try and do some TA on this and see if I can pinpoint some areas of resistance, because I think being able to predict the retracements in Bitcoin dominance can be beneficial. So I'm going to do some TA on this, and we will see if the Bitcoin dominance chart respects TA like a normal asset would. And I mean, looking at it, it does have a lot of the same tendencies as, a normal chart. We get SFPs of the lows, we get bullish divs marking significant lows right here on the weekly time frame with money flow and momentum. We get SFPs on the highs. An SFP on the high with weekly bear divs with money flow and momentum marks a significant top. And it does seem to respect trends pretty well too. I like the way that it flows. I mean, we are getting pretty scrunched up here. This is kind of difficult to look at, but I mean, overall, it seems to work like a normal asset in terms of the price action. So with that being said, we are now potentially running into a pretty key area of resistance here, a golden pocket retracement with confluence of the value area high of basically this range since this low down here. I mean, since January 2018 when we hit this significant low, and then we later came up to put in this significant high, we have been moving sideways. And I have no clue how well a value area is going to work on an asset that doesn't have direct volume. You don't trade Bitcoin dominance itself. At least I don't think there's a way to. So I'm interested to see how the volume levels work. But I mean, there clearly does seem to be a lot of volume down here, which makes sense, I guess. Bitcoin dominance did spend a lot of time down here. So first thing I want to mention is I don't think we really appear to be in a situation where a move like this makes sense, right? Where we get another repeat of 2021, the spring of 2021, just based off of how Market Cipher looks right now. The weekly time frame on Market Cipher with Bitcoin dominance money flow looks very bullish. It's putting in higher highs. We did start forming some bearish divs on the weekly time frame as we worked our way up, but momentum came up to void that. Money flow came up to void that. They both put in higher highs. And, prior to this dump that we got in 2021, we had a pretty bearish thing up here. We got an SFP of a significant high with bearish divergences, and that marked a very significant top. I'm not seeing anything like that on the weekly time frame right here. So with that in mind, I may want to, consider maybe more of a temporary retracement rather than, a full-on dump of Bitcoin dominance. Like maybe something that we saw here, a retracement and then a little range prior to putting in a higher high. And we can go down to the daily time frame and see that we are starting to form some bearish signs as we're entering resistance here. Bearish divs on the daily time frame, momentum and money flow. And it does look like we are trying to come up for another high here, which would give us a continuation of those divergences currently, if it's just an SFP and if we don't just blast through it. And so currently, I think one of the best scenarios that I could think of for Bitcoin dominance is that we continue pushing up just a little bit more. We take out this high, we maybe get an SFP, or it's like, a very weak break. Maybe we come up and sustain above it for a little bit, but then fall back down. We get to those continued bearish divs on the daily time frame, and also on the 4-hour time frame, we could see a continuation of divergences here, definitely with money flow. And then I would like to see us come down and lose this low. Why? Because, well, number one, then it would be a higher low, so we could break some kind of market structure, actually reverse the trend, which, it appears like we haven't really done that much. We've just been in a steady uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. Zooming back a little bit farther, there were times where we did take out a higher low, and it kind of ended up being a failed break. We ended up going higher later. The difference, I think, here is that we were not at a super significant area of resistance. With this scenario, not only would we break structure, but we would also be failing this retest of the value area high for support. I kind of like how we found support on the value area high. Now we're getting another aggressive push to the upside. I think if that fails, and if we start breaking significantly lower, that could be an early sign of more of a retracement to come. At least that's what my TA would tell me. Again, we'll see if it respects it, but that is one scenario that I'm currently keeping my eye on. I think if we do not find a resistance in this area, then Bitcoin dominance, does have a long way to go to get up to the next significant resistance, which I think is the 786. If you zoom out and look at price action, I would not call any of this significant resistance. I would look at this as more of liquidity. We got lower highs. And if there was actually a way to trade this, I would say there's probably stop losses remaining above those highs. So yeah, with that being said, I think the next significant resistance is going to come in around 66.16%. That's a pretty ominous number. And let's say we do end up retracing from this area. I'll draw this up a little bit higher to anticipate a higher high. It doesn't have to be exact. Let's see where some of the fib levels are landing. Maybe we can try and pinpoint a retracement target, although it does not seem like that's going to be super easy. I would say that probably the best support resistance confluence would be coming in around here. Significant resistance over here. We found a little bit of support here, but that is a pretty far way away. I think that would not necessarily be a 2021 dump, but that would be almost 75% of that. So maybe we would shoot for some more local targets. Even the 382 seems pretty far away. I think if we got that, that would be pretty crazy for altcoins. And this zone is kind of coming in the middle of a pretty significant range. I would say that this bit of sideways price action was the range prior to the break up, although it's not the prettiest price action. So yeah, I guess when the time comes, we'll try and come up with retracement targets. At this point, it seems pretty difficult, but I am certainly keeping my eye on this, and I am certainly keeping my eye on this bit of local price action right here, because we are at a pretty significant point, it seems. That's it for this one. Just wanted to quickly come on and briefly go over this. I didn't really do too much TA on this. There's not much to look at, but I do think it's important considering where we are at. So thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. I appreciate all of the support. It means a lot. Helps my channel to grow. You guys are awesome. And I will see you all in the next video.